Is Hogwarts Legacy overrated? Yes, and in this video, I'm going to show you why. From the moment you start the game, you create your own character and embark on an exciting journey through the wizarding world. The options for the character creator are vast and gives you a wealth of customization for your characters, which truly makes your character feel unique. I especially like the textures used for the character's eyes and hair, adding a level of realism which is a struggle for most games to achieve. The voices for both male and female characters are very well done. They're very expressive and truly makes you feel like your character is alive. I do think personally that the female voice is better. So there are some scenes where the male voice seems to be a bit bored of reading the lines.
I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
It can be quite bemusing, and I'm not sure why that is, because there are some lines that the male voice actor does very well. There are some tone options during the character customization. There are ways to make your character sound deeper or higher pitched, depending on what you like, and they sound dreadful.
I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing. I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade. I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you. That was quite something. It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
A few cobwebs and some dust.
They are so awfully done. I'm not sure why the developers thought it would be a good idea to use an auto-tune to modulate the voices, when they could have just asked the voice actors to do different tones, or even hire additional voice actors to do the different levels of voices. The way that they have done it is completely irregular, it does not sound good, and I do not think that they're going to be changing it later during the game's lifetime. Rather than giving us good options for deeper or higher voices, I personally wanted a deeper male voice. We are left with this awkward voice effect, which you just cannot use to enjoy the game with. If anyone does use the higher or lower pitched voices, do let me know. So I can get you some psychiatric help. The customization system that exists later in the game is one of the game's highlights. It allows you to choose your own wand, your own outfits, your brooms, your mounts, your spells. The customization options are vast and really let you create a character that feels unique. I would have my character change his outfit depending on who he wanted to be as I played, starting from this new student wearing his best robes to different adventuring and combat clothes the more he got engaged into duels and fighting. If you wanted a character that delved more into the dark arts, there are multiple dark wizard or witch robes to use rather than just the one that comes with the pre-order or the deluxe version of the game. And this is especially great because Hogwarts Legacy has a feature that every game with a loot system should honestly have, and that's a customizable appearance system. Changing the look of the loot that you receive I feel is very important, especially to prevent your character looking like some strange or deranged individual walking the halls of Hogwarts and terrifying the students into submission. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't look right. And I don't know why some games do that. When it comes to the gameplay, Hogwarts Legacy does not disappoint. The duels are intense and require strategy, and you must balance offensive and defensive spells to defeat your opponents. Sure, it requires strategy, but I'm not saying it's particularly hard. After a while, it does get repetitive, and once you're used to the way the spells feel and the way that the dueling system acts, honestly, it doesn't change in difficulty really. You can just start doing it on autopilot mode, but it's still fun to do. The spellcasting system itself is intuitive and satisfying, with a wide variety of spells to choose from and the opportunity to learn new spells as you progress through the game. One major red flag with this though, and this can be a big issue for people like myself who don't have a lot of time to sink into a game right away, is that a lot of the spells are gate-kept from the player until they complete certain quests. While this isn't always an issue, it can be frustrating being unable to interact with secrets you find around the world map through exploration and must abandon them for later. This kind of takes away from the open world feeling this game is trying to accomplish, as it isn't truly open world until you're far into the game. It takes hours to unlock a broom, hours more to improve it, and hours even more to unlock the mount. Now sure, having certain features be unlockable as they make progress is a good way to pace up the game for players, but doing it for nearly every major feature is so draining. Some of the ways that you unlock some of these features are just not enjoyable. Unlocking one of the most important spells in the game through a treasure hunt style questline involving statues that can only be collected at night is pretty creative, but also incredibly boring and repetitive after finding like 5 that same way. They don't change the way that you find these statues either, they just exist around the map that you occasionally run into, and it's just not fun. The puzzles that you encounter around Hogwarts are unfortunately the same, boring and repetitive. They're kind of just copy and pasted around the castle that you just stumble across, and something that you absent-mindedly deal with as you're trying to do something else through the castle, whether it's quests, general exploration, anything. It's basically one of those things that you just do as you're passing it. You don't really care about it. You're just like, oh, fair enough, that's interesting. Thankfully, this isn't the case for the Merlin trials or the story puzzles, thankfully, both of which are important for your character to complete. These are more unique. These require some thinking, some strategy, and so far I haven't found a single one boring. The world size is phenomenal and a lot bigger than I expected. The surrounding area of Hogwarts was never really explored in the films or the books, and to see this place imagined is excellent. I know in the films we do get to see Hogsmeade Station and the town of Hogsmeade, but in this game it is so much better. The villages and hamlets are lively and fit into the game so well, and the NPCs within them have life and character. The world feels alive, characters that react to your choices, and a story that branches out depending on the decisions you make. The quests and activities that you can do around the world can be both fun and engaging, with each task being unique to the rest. The rewards can be a bit limiting for the side quests in particular, but clearing out Poacher, Dark Wizard, and Goblin camps for stuff to upgrade your equipment with feels deserved. The roaming characters themselves, the students, the travellers, and everyone that you see just walking around are the complete opposite. Sure, they do have some generic dialogue that somehow involves your character, but the way they move and act is just so NPC-like, funnily enough. It's really weird to be calling them NPCs because they are NPCs, but they just genuinely have no life. They don't react to your character walking up to them or near them, other than sometimes some occasional dialogue that I mentioned was very generic. They also completely ignore you casting random spells at them, other than doing this weird over-the-shoulder head twist motion that would definitely give them severe whiplash. I really appreciated this game's attention to detail, with nice nods to stuff found in the books and films. Peeves the Poltergeist being one of the biggest ones. He appears around the castle pranking the students, which you get to witness, which just adds a funny element to the game. The Kraken in the lake that you sometimes see when you're flying over it on your broom or mount. And even the little appearances like Sir Cadogan, one of the other famous portraits in the books and films. The Chamber of Secrets even, you can go to the same toilet and see the same sink that Harry opens up, and even the Frog Choir, which we only see in one of the films, but we can see here. They even match the classrooms seen in the films, as well as other areas of the castle too. Graphically, this game is stunning. From the lush forests of the Forbidden Forest to the grand halls of Hogwarts itself, the world is beautifully realised and filled with detail. Journeying around the map rewards you with great views of the castle and environment, as well as helping you notice important landmarks for you to explore. The seasons for the game change too as you progress through the story, helping you to experience the different levels of beauty this game has to offer. The music and sound effects are also top-notch, truly immersing you in the wizarding world. I particularly enjoy the sounds of the spells and their impacts, as well as the sounds belonging to the creatures that we all know and love. The game runs smoothly for the most part, with a few technical issues to speak of. At launch and even now, some people will have different popping issues for textures that can cut down on their FPS, but there have been patches since to try and amend any performance issues. Overall, I have to say that I do recommend Hogwarts Legacy. It offers a magical and immersive experience that fans of the wizarding world will love. The attention to detail, customization options, and engaging gameplay make this a must-play for any fan of RPGs and the Harry Potter franchise. Doesn't mean that this game is perfect though. Far from it. Would I recommend the game at full price? Definitely not. The issues that I've mentioned in this review I really doubt will ever be fixed. It's also unlikely from what we've seen so far that the developers will be adding any future content to the game either, reducing any future replayability and no real reason to play the game once you've completed the main questline. It's not all doom and gloom, however. The modding community has taken this game up like a storm, and I'm loving what they've been pumping out so far. I don't know if they'll be able to keep the game alive if they can't make modded quests or storylines, but I'm excited to see what they come out with regardless. Anyway guys, that's it for this review of Hogwarts Legacy. Thank you for watching and I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see some future gaming content.